Hola motivators! Today we are going to be reading what Marlena Stell, the former Makeup Geek owner, has to say about what happened with her and Jaclyn Hill. I have always been curious about this, and I saw a little thread of Marlena Stell pop up on Reddit and basically saying, and yet another woman that Jaclyn Hill has kind of, I guess, stepped on or kind of pushed out the way in this beauty or makeup industry to get to the next level. Actually, I used to be a fan of Jaclyn Hill, even to the lipstick, the hairy lipsticks. But because of recent events and things that have been brought up, and so much evidence, really, if you think about it, so much evidence leading to the fact that she is not really trustworthy, has kind of made me have a little, like, you know, that trend is like
bombastic side eye, criminal offensive side eye.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing to Jaclyn Hill and Jaclyn Hill, all these brands and stuff like that. So I was very interested. I wanted to read here with you together and see if there were some like things that we missed or my thoughts on this whole drama that happened. So if you like these kind of videos, like, subscribe to this channel. Thank you for joining us, and let's get to it. I'll be reading this on my iPad, and this was by Marlena Stell. That's what it says. I don't know if this is really her, but it says Jaclyn Hill snark. It has some pictures in there that has me believe like this is truly her. So here we go. New to this sub, found you all. I'm tired of staying quiet, especially after the Kaylin incident, because that's yet another woman in a lineup of many who have been done dirty by a manipulative liar. I'm tired of not speaking everything in fear of being called a hater, looking for relevancy. So I know that Marlena Stell was the one that started the whole My Truth, and then people started, like a lot of influencers, I noticed when I was watching it, started to jump on that bandwagon and try to say like, oh, my truth, and a bunch of videos to show. So I think she kind of started that, and it was due to that collab between Makeup Geek and Jaclyn, which kind of sounded pretty sad, especially when she said in there that she's the one that pulled the collab and she took the loss, and it was supposed to happen, but kind of Jaclyn Hill backed away from it to go with morphine, and she had already bought stock, so I know that stuff. So let's see if there's like new information, but already I can say yes, a lot of people were in the comments that I was seeing were like, oh, you're just hating on her because she didn't pick you and stuff like that. So I can understand why she's saying that. But now let's see what else she's got to say. But since I closed my brand already, I don't have to worry about being told I'm trying to drum up sales. True. Been holding this all in for 7 years. Imagine knowing some tea or information that you feel like people have to know, but have to hold that in for 7 years. That's pretty crazy. I've forgiven Jaclyn for losing Makeup Geek $1 million, even though it was I'm not gonna say that, a poop move and hurt my company horribly. I should have gotten the contract signed, but never imagined a friend will pull out knowing the inventory was already in-house. Okay, insert myself here. I already know from a young age that if you're going to do something, even with family or friends or even a random person, you must get a contract. If it's a project, if you're selling something for a large amount of money, the advice I've been given by many, especially parents, some people I worked with in the medical field, is first of all, always have a contract. And if you don't have one, expect to lose that money if you are trying to give money away or somebody's asking to borrow it. If you don't want to lose that amount that they are requesting, then get a contract or stuff like that, because it'll prepare you better. It doesn't matter, even if they're family or friends, get a contract. It makes life a lot better, especially because it stops you from fighting over what to do, especially when you lay down that contract and tell them, here's what you got to do. Here's the step. This is what this is what needs to happen. These are all the steps. These are all the timelines. Organization is key, and a contract. Let's get back. Hardest life lesson I've ever learned. Well, I'm sorry you had to learn it that way. I even texted her pictures of all the crates of products sitting in my warehouse, and there's pictures on here. That's why Makeup Geek struggled so much after 2016. Was a literal $1 million worth of product was ordered. Retail revenue actually lost was $4.5 million. $1 million was just what was invested in product ordered. Oh my word. That is a big hit, especially because this wasn't like some huge brand. This was an indie up and coming brand, Makeup Geek. I remember when I started getting into makeup and seeing videos, I could see the older videos that I guess I was suggested had people using Makeup Geek. Now, as time went on, I didn't see so much about Makeup Geek, but I knew Makeup Geek was a smaller indie brand. But to lose 4.5 and then the $1 million that was just for products, that is a huge loss. And when I heard that this drama happened between her and Jacqueline, I was like, oh my gosh, how much did she lose and can she recover from this? Many boring palettes happened after that in an effort to recover loss. In the nude palette, a bunch of the other ones in the same packaging, because I had 100K units. I ended up tossing thousands of them last year when I announced MUG closure. So that was 2022, the closure, I think in March. But what hurt even worse than the financial wreckage was her pretending to be a friend only to drop me like a toilet wad as soon as she found someone else to give her what she wanted, info on how to start a makeup brand. Meanwhile, I was thinking it was a true friendship, so I went out of my way to give her secretive info like labs and packaging connects. I even drove her personally to San Francisco from Napa to do an in-person meeting with a vendor to help her with her lipsticks. She was Makeup Geek's biggest affiliate, so I could have just not helped her, knowing it was technically competition for another brand. But I knew how hard it was starting a brand from scratch with no help. I believed in her and actually did love her like a friend and wanted to see her succeed. She is crazy talented in makeup. Oh, I think I can already see what's going on here. First of all, what I want to know is what year or how many years has she been friends with her for her to give her information on labs and makeup to build a brand. I feel like Marlena seems already too trusting. You have to read people. I mean, I swear. And if you know, a lot of people said like those people that live in LA or all, like influencers that make millions. Like I've heard like a lot of people in Cali just care about numbers and followers and stuff like that. They're really not good, like true friendships. I don't know how true that is. That's just what I see on like YouTube and read on like here on Reddit. But anyways, the main advice here would be like, I wouldn't give out, if you have a company and you have this information, that information is powerful. It is worth something. I would not just give it freely to someone that I just met if she has barely been friends with her. And then I think she had, I don't know when her lunch was with Becca, but Jaclyn Hill, now that I researched it, has already had a few mess ups. So I would have been researching and seeing if this is someone I can trust with all this information that like I hold sacred. You know what I mean? So once Jaclyn became friends with Linda, not only was I dropped, but she took Linda. So they're talking about Linda Morphe here, who owned Morphe. Now they had sold it off to someone else. So I was dropped, but she took Linda to every lab I gave to her. Oh my God, that's
so disrespectful. Like that is so disrespectful.
I put my reputation on the line by asking favors from my vendors to meet with her. The final straw of friendship for me was me seeing her at my lab with Linda the same day as me, while she blew me off and stated she was too busy to meet me for even a coffee. Oh my God. So she lied, saying she had errands and couldn't meet up. Meanwhile, that afternoon, my team sees her and Linda at my lab while we're there. That was the day I knew who Jaclyn truly was, and I felt stupid and deceived. So not only did you give up information, she then was like, well, now I got that information. See, this is why I ask. How many years was she friends with her and thought she was so trustworthy to give her that information? I know she said she messed up and it was her fault, Marlena, but I'm like, man, girl, that's too trusting. And then to give her that information, all of a sudden, boom, she's acting weird. She ends up with someone else. That person, she's showing her all the ropes. Like, she knows what she's talking about, but she got that information from you, dropped you, now it's with this person. Same day that she said, oh, I'm too busy for you. Coincidence? I think not. That you see her at the same place. So she darn well, she had time to do that, but didn't have time for you. That's how you know. That's shady. That's shady. So disrespectful. So I messaged Jacqueline months before Lipstickgate and told her I was hurt all this time and stated my feelings about the shady business practices of Morphe, lying about restocking vegan palettes, subpar quality, etc. When I stated it was a poop move to pull out of the collab, she made no remorse and said, what do you want me to do, Marlena? How about take some ownership? How about I am sorry. I am sorry for what I did. What I did to you, I used you. But of course, people like that will never admit it. Will never admit that they hurt someone. All the hurt's done to them. They will never say they made a mistake. And guess what? You're human, so I know you make mistakes. And yes, I warned her about that lab. So the lipsticks that had hair in them from Jaclyn Hill's Cosmetics, which she doesn't even own, by the way, and that's on paper. That's legal paper that proves that statement. Marlena from Makeup Geek warned her not to go with that lab, but she did a rush job and went with them anyways. I knew it was a rush job when Lipstickgate happened because my other vendors who denied the last minute request from Morphe told me. So they told her, these vendors. Also, that makes me wonder, why are these vendors even talking about that stuff? Aren't you supposed to have that on hush mouth? Again, that's why I was vocal about Lipstickgate, because I knew what happened even as she was lying through her teeth. Fuzzy gloves my butt. Hasn't been one thing with her, but a repeated series of lies. Stepping on other women to serve her what she wants. Stealing other brands, blaming everyone else for her poor morals, and so much more. So that she's giving you that information because of the whole cozy that she had took from someone else and trademarked it. And she might have done it legally right, but she was morally wrong in my opinion. So someone else had to change it. And then now I hear that she might be shutting down Cozy. So what was the point of trademarking it and stealing it from someone else that was a fellow YouTuber influencer? What was the point of that? Like a power trip? I don't know. I know I've been blunt lately, but honestly, I am effing fed up. And no, I won't do a video because her fans are rabid. And I want to keep some semblance of peace after working so hard for the last 4 years to get rid of toxic people and things in my life. I should probably not blast her on social even, but the Caitlyn instance was so dang poopy. It was so damn poopy that I'm just fed up. So that's why I post here and there, because it's hard to keep quiet when I see so much poop happening to other women too. Stealing Cozy from Caitlyn and mocking the trademark was disgusting. So we do have a Makeup Chisme video of her, Jaclyn Hill, basically kind of not addressing the elephant in the room, and then goes ahead and says, oh, this name is nice. Well, at least they trademarked it. Like she didn't know what she was talking about, and throwing that out there for Caitlyn, who had Cozy, that the actual spelling of it, and didn't trademark it, but she did it. It was just sassy and very like crud thing to say, almost making fun of it. So it says, don't get me started on lying about her family-owned business either. Exactly. I know what you're talking about. I looked at the legal paperwork. She does not own that. So even Becca CEO, Jen, Gerard, myself, Kaylin, and now Lana. What is going on? So there's 5 women. These are just some of the people wrecked by Jaclyn's selfish and shady moves. There's a common denominator here. It's not all of us. Okay, what about Becca CEO and then Jen Gerard? like Gerard Cosmetics. Oh, that's more research right there. Thank you for letting me rant. Woo, that felt good to release. I bet you it did. And then she had like the pictures of the like shades she ordered. So she ordered this. So that was a big mistake. So after reading this, questions I have is the timeline of their friendship and when she gave that information, and the timeline of when it took Jaclyn Hill, like what did it take her just one whole day to kind of just flip the script and start giving all that information to a rival? Because let's be honest, that is a rival. Morphe was a rival. So were they planning this together to take her out? Like, it makes me wonder, like, we're going down the rabbit hole. Was Jaclyn Hill and Linda always planning this so that Jaclyn Hill could be friends with Marlena to get her information, to get how to start a new brand, to up Morphe's, like, knowledge? Because I'm pretty sure they didn't have knowledge. And then here comes Jaclyn Hill, weaseling her way into Marlena's life to get the knowledge of building a brand and making palettes and eyeshadows and stuff like that. That is very just mind-boggling and makes me think. And first of all, it sounds like she's a terrible friend that doesn't know how to put her foot down or even apologize or take responsibility. Because as a friend, you would never do that. I would never do that. If I said I'm going to do something, and that's what my parents instilled in me. If I'm saying I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. If I say I'm going to collab with you, even if I wasn't under contract, I would finish it and do the best of my ability. And if I was your friend, I would tell you, we need a contract. Yeah, we need a contract. I would have made sure she signed that contract. Marlena did say that was her biggest mistake and fail, and she learned her lesson. So I hope, not that I know, but I hope that in the future, if she has any collabs or any friends, all contracts, family, all contracts, everything, all contracts, and have them sign it before you purchase any products, stuff like that. Because she had purchased the products, was waiting there for Jaclyn Hill's response, and it just never came. She had to pull out because it was just going to sit old, and I'm pretty sure she had standards, and she wasn't going to sell old makeup. And the other thought is, I was always wondering how Makeup Geek was going to recover. And even though they couldn't really, I was going to say new collabs, but you can't really, she lost all that money, there was no room to make new collabs or like maybe revamp the logo or anything like that. That all costs money, and to repackage everything costs money, and it is just it's just a stressful thing to do. I think she came out with like a matrix thing. I thought it was cool in theory, but I still think that they needed to revamp the logo or packaging, stuff like that, because it was just, honestly, in my eyes, it was a little bit boring, and it was getting boringer, and I can understand why, because they had so much inventory, wasted so much money. They couldn't just revamp everything, do the packaging, everything, logo, it all costs money, and they lost so much, and I really feel bad. I feel bad for anyone who got hurt like that. So that's the makeup Chisme. You tell me your thoughts below. I feel like Jaclyn was a terrible friend, a person who thinks that they do right because she's like, oh well, you didn't have a contract. Okay, but you're my friend. Like, really? Like, do you not understand like the morals of that? Like, you're my friend, you said you're gonna do it. You had basically made her believe like it was gonna happen, the collab. But no, it was like, well, I don't have a contract, so I can go with anyone else. A real friend, a loyal friend would not do that. And then doesn't take responsibilities for things that go wrong. Like I said, and this is coming from someone who actually liked Jaclyn Hill, like watching her. Not that I know her. Look at me, look at me, small creator. I don't know her, but if I did, it seems like she would have been one of those people who are like so super nice and oh my god, and they make you like believe they're good and all good and stuff like that. And then as soon as you hear a little like whisper of like, oh, she said this about you, you don't even want to believe it. You're like, no, yeah, right. But it's like, no, why would I be telling you this? I don't want to lie to you. And you're like, well, I barely know you, but I know Jaclyn a little bit more. So I'm not going to believe that. I'm just going to have that in the back of my head. Lo and behold, she was talking about you the whole time. That person was telling you the truth because they wanted you to see, and you ignored the signs. That's how I feel. It's that type of that's a friend of me now. She has become a friend of me, and then she went total enemy by being in cahoots with a competitor, giving them all the trade secrets. That's the word I was looking for. You know, trade secrets, lab secrets, how to make a brand. Like I feel like Linda Morphy and Jacqueline have swindled Marlena, and I feel so bad that Marlena was so just kind. I feel like a little bit gullible, too kind for her own good, in my opinion. So let me know all your opinions down below. Comment, definitely like, subscribe if you like these kind of Chisme videos. And I'll see you in the next videos, and you have a great one. Bye. Adios.